So, Coach Slay, USA wins on criteria. I know Dlagnev didn't know that he needed to shut his opponent out until the break between periods 1 and periods 2. Is that like a conscious decision to not tell him that, or that's just when it was figured out?
No, I think he did know. We communicated that he needed to tech him, and the guy couldn't score 1 point on it for us to win the dual meet. So, unfortunately, we had some competing information coming in. There's a group of people that they thought that Terrell was going to have to get the pin because that's, I think, the rules have been in the past. I assume. So we had people coming our ear going, he's got to pin him, he's got to pin him. And I spent 45 minutes today before both dual meets started studying the classification points, knowing the criteria were, sending those emails to people we talked about, we planned it out. And so fortunately we had done that before. We knew the most updated rules. So Terrell, in his brain, he knew that he had to tech him, and the guy had scored 0 points, and fortunately that's what he did.
And what was the scoring? How did you see it scored at 70 kilograms in Nick's match at the end?
I need to go back and watch the video, but it seemed like it should have been 6-6 to me, and the other guy had a caution because Nick had it put on the shot clock. So based on criteria, because they both scored like, I think, 2 2-pointers and 2 1-pointers, so that means they had the same amount of big points. So it came down. The next criteria is a caution. Right, so Nick got one of his points because the other guy got put on the shot clock. So the next criteria is the caution, and that guy had a caution. So if it was tied 6-6 and that guy had a caution, I think Nick should have won the match.
How would you evaluate the performance overall?
I think overall we had a slow start against Cuba. I mean, Cuba weighed in last night at 2:10 a.m. in the morning, so they clearly, they didn't get as much sleep. The whole weight cutting issue for them, they didn't have the same blessed situation we had. So I think we should have gone out there and put it to them a little faster. We actually lost the first 2 matches, which was kind of upsetting.
And you scored first in both those matches.
Yes, and so we scored first, we lost those two matches, and then fortunately Brett Metcalf came in and got some momentum for us, and we carried all the way to the end of the dual meet with Zach Rain winning. So we won the next 6 matches in a row, which was great. But in the World Cup, you don't want to come out and start losing the first 2 matches because sometimes you lose the third one, the momentum can change, and that's what these dual meets are about. Momentum a lot of times. Like wrestling's an individual sport, but this is the time when wrestling becomes a team sport, right? And sometimes you have to go out and tech your opponent, and and make sure the other guy doesn't score any points for you to win the dual meet for your team. So the guys just need to understand that more. And so Cuba, we started slow, but finished strong. But Russia, I thought, Tony coming right back after losing the Cuban and come back and getting a win against a pretty salty Russian was really good. Coleman, I think Coleman just needs some more matches and needs a little bit more time, I think, to build the shape and to get some more matches under his belt, and he'll be okay. But Metcalf again, getting the tech, that was big for us. And hopefully Ed and then Jordan getting the tech, and hopefully Ed's shoulder will be okay. I mean, our doctors and training staff, they're looking at it and evaluating, and we'll see how he feels tomorrow.
Now, Russia didn't bring a lot of their, A-list guys, but still, you're going to have video on all of these people coming in and be prepared. Is that well? I mean, just talk a little bit about Russia's overall strategy. They seem to traditionally not bring their best guys to here, and then they come to the Worlds, and like last year, in 2014, they showed up with fireman's carries that seemed like not on their checklist. I mean, were you expecting? Did that surprise you? And it surprised me watching.
Well, at the Worlds last year, the firemen's they were hitting and then being very, very aggressive on top and parterre. They scored multiple turns in all their matches. Right, the guys that won the world titles, they were scoring 4-pointers off firemen's lot, and they were getting a lot of points off turns. So that was the big key of why they won the world title last year. They didn't bring their number 1 team here because they just wrestled them at Yasar Nagoo in the Turkey tournament, most of their number 1s. And I think they're thinking about making sure those guys are fresh from their nationals and not wanting to travel them over here. And I think they actually have the confidence, I think, with their number 2s and 3s that they can beat us. And the truth is, I mean, their number 2s and 3s are very, very good wrestlers. And so, I mean, we had to be ready to wrestle against Russia. And we were fortunate to get out of that match, get out of that dual meet with the win because they clearly came. They thought they were going to beat us in that dual meet, and it was very, very close. And so for us to beat them in that situation, and then to put us in the driver's seat going in the morning, the plan is clearly to beat Mongolia and be able to wrestle. Looks like, Iran, probably, maybe Azerbaijan.
Right.
The finals would be great for us. I mean, but Azerbaijan, I think they're up 6-0 against a pretty tough Belarusian team.
Right.
There's 6 matches up right now. So Azerbaijan's here to wrestle as well.
And Azerbaijan didn't bring a lot of their top guys also.
Well, Azerbaijan's, they've got some of their Olympic champions. From the lineup I look like, Asargov, who's an Olympic champion, is here. Sharipov, who's an Olympic champion's here. I mean, one of their best 86-kilo guys is here. Hasanov, their 74-kilo world medalist. So, no, Azerbaijan has a pretty solid team. I think they brought some of their best guys. So,
Now,
they're ready to wrestle.
Iran has also not, just senior level guys, but junior world champs on the team that you got a good look at because you coached our junior world team. And, those guys seem pretty interesting, like coming up to the senior level.
Well, they are, and those guys, I know, if I looked at their lineup and remember correctly, the guy from Iran that beat Aaron Pico to win the junior world titles here. The guy from Iran that won an 86-kilo junior world title is here. So they have some of their younger guys on the team, but it looks like they're wrestling a lot of their senior level guys. And so I think we wrestle them in the finals, they're going to roll out their best and most experienced senior level guys against us.
Now, we did really well. We had a good performance at the Junior Worlds, and you were there. Like, how excited does that make you? It feels like we're on the rise.
Right.
Like, it's tough to describe, but, I think Flow Wrestling is part of that. More video. Like, kids have a chance to sort of be the celebrities now on the internet. There's more, coverage on TV. Do you think that's exciting more kids to be excited about wrestling?
Well, I think it's getting a lot of our cadets and juniors excited to wrestle in the Cadet World Championships and the Junior World Championships because they see that the Cadet Worlds and Junior Worlds is a stepping stone to the Senior World Championships. And that's why we brought, I'm our national development coach, so I'm responsible for our 15 through 20-year-olds. So that's why we brought Joey McKenna here.
Yes.
He's training with our guys this week. Aaron Pico's here.
Yep, Snyder's here.
So our 2 Junior World finalists are here. Kyle Snyder is a Junior World champ, Junior World bronze medalist this last year. We brought him here. Mark Hall is here, who traveled with us to train.
Right.
And then because we're in California, I invited Kate Olivas and Anthony Valencia and Zahid Valencia. So all those guys are in the room training with our guys this week.
That really seems to be working.
For a reason. We're putting the 16, 17, 18, 19-year-olds with our 25, 26-year-olds. And so the more we wrestle those guys, our developmental guys, our young guys, with their senior level guys, the idea is the faster they're going to develop. And so, Iran brought some junior world medalists. We have some junior world medalists, here training with our team as well for a reason, for a purpose, because, Kyle Snyder, he's actually weighed in at 97 kilograms. So if Jake Varner, if he doesn't wrestle tomorrow morning for some reason, we haven't talked about it, he has a coaching staff, Kyle Snyder would wrestle in the morning against Mongolia. So we are developing our guys as well, and I'm really excited as the developmental coach going into the summer because we have returning Cadet World champions. They're going to be back to make the Cadet World team, and our Junior World team. We have the potential, depending on how Kyle and Joey and Aaron do in the senior level, because I think they're going to wrestle the senior level trials.
Yeah, but they're still eligible.
There's a lot of they're eligible to juniors. So we'll see how that plays out. But if for some reason they don't make the senior world team, then to have Joey McKenna back at 60 kilo, Aaron Pico trying to make the team at 65 kilo, and we'll have guys challenge. Kyle Snyder will be back to challenge 97 kilo. Including all those guys have to make the team, but they're still all returning juniors, and so that bodes well for our success this summer.
Right. I mean, and how do you, in working with college wrestlers, Kyle Snyder's at Ohio State, he was a finalist. We still want him doing both. We still want him successful in freestyle. Logan Stieber just graduated. You got Olympic training centers in Ohio State. How is that working out in keeping our top guys excited about freestyle and not having to make a transition?
Well, the first thing is those wrestlers have to really love freestyle and want to be world Olympic champions. If they don't, they're not going to come spend time training with us probably this summer. They're not going to be excited if you want to invite them out to the World Cup camp.
Right.
But we have to pick up the phone to Kyle Snyder and say, hey, you want to come train with us at the World Cup?
Yeah.
And
he has to want to say yes.
Right? Yeah. Now he has to go through and ask his teachers, professors, his coaches there at Ohio State, but he has a desire to be a world Olympic champion. Aaron Pico and Joey McKenna and Mark Hall and the Valencias and Kate Olivas and Spencer Lee. I mean, those individuals, I could keep going.
Yeah.
Those individuals want to be world Olympic champions. And so in the United States of America, we're blessed that we have those horses in the stall, so to speak.
And it seems like there's more and more those horses. They seem to be coming out more and more.
Right. And so the idea, I think what's helping that is partly what's helping it is the regional training center idea, is they have these senior level freestyle guys there training with the younger guys. Like David Taylor's training with Bo Nickel at Penn State. J.D. Bergman at Terrell DeLog's training with Kyle Snyder at the Ohio RTC. Jordan Burroughs was training with James Green at the Nebraska Regional Training Center. Again, I can keep going with more of those examples. But those type of senior level guys pouring into the younger guys is really increasing, I think, our development. And it leads to a bright future for Team USA.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like we're not reaping the rewards of that fruit at the senior level yet, but we're really close.
Well, after 2016, who knows? Some guys may keep wrestling, maybe not. But we'll have some of these younger guys that are, they're already challenging the senior level guys right now. Aaron Pico won the senior level tournament in Cuba. Joe McKenna won the senior level tournament in Cuba. Kyle Snyder, I've watched him wrestle against some of our senior level guys. A lot of these guys, they're getting close now, so we give them another, one more year, 2 more years. I mean, they're going to be in the mix. Some are in the mix now, but they're really going to be in the mix next year or two to come.
Yeah. And also, just doing well at this event, if we win this, that sparks more excitement about freestyle amongst younger kids.
For sure. The United States of America, we just need to do a better job planning the Olympic gold medal, the world gold medals seed in our youth, to get them to realize that the ultimate is not being an NCAA champion. I mean, that's special. Being an NCAA champion is special. I'm not taking away from that at all.
But do you think as
being a national champ, and there's something bigger than just being a national champ. But unfortunately, our culture, it gets addicted to this whole focus on national champ scene when there's a global goal, which is being an Olympic champion. In the Olympics, they don't take folk style wrestling.
Right.
It's like Olympics they don't take American Express, but they take freestyle. And Greco-Roman and our women's freestyle. And I think there's always going to be kids that might not ever try freestyle, but we have to do a better job of planting that seed. So young men like Joey McKinnon, Aaron Pico, Kyle Snyder, they take that seed, they plant in their heart and their soul. They allow a lot of other people to teach them and water it. And the idea of one of these days that's going to grow, and we're gonna be the best team in the world again. I believe that.
And I think also, like we just had Logan Stieber become another 4-time champ. As more and more people do that, I think people are going to be it's going to be easier for you to help kids look beyond and want to become world and Olympic champs.
Yeah, and I'm all about education. I went to school at the University of Pennsylvania, Philadelphia.
Right, sure.
Got my degree at the Wharton School of Business. Trust me, I'm all about education. But I'm not a folk style coach. My job, USA Wrestling doesn't pay me to coach folk style. That's not. There's national champs every year. That's not my main job. My main job is to help our senior level team become the best in the world again, and our developmental team. We got second in the junior worlds last year, lost to Iran, really close, beat Russia.
Right.
And so my plan this year as the developmental coach is to win the junior worlds in Salvador, Brazil in August.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.